What happens when the medicines stop coming? What happens when foreign aid vanishes overnight? What happens when your child's survival depends on a decision made in Washington, not in Abuja, Bamako, or Ouagadougou? This is not a nightmare. This is our reality.
Hi, I'm Jan Tusseripto, CEO of Save the Children in the US. You might have seen headlines in the media about a cut and a freeze of foreign assistance by the US government. But what does that actually mean? It is actually real lives at stake here. Real children in real countries being deprived of assistance that they were counting on. Globally, 1 in 11 children depend on humanitarian assistance. So what happens when this funding disappears so abruptly?
While children die in Sokoto, while mothers beg for care in Kano, a billionaire tells us what's best for Africa. Vaccines, yes. Solutions, maybe. But power, always. Bill Gates, the American billionaire philanthropist, praises the health systems of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, 3 countries under military rule. Yet he condemns northern Nigeria, where millions of children go without basic vaccines. Is he wrong? Not exactly, but that's not the whole story. For decades, Africa has relied on foreign powers for survival, in medicine, in food, in money. Health is now the soft weapon of control, because when they fund your vaccines, they dictate your policy. When they cut the funding, your people die.
Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Laflamme, a journalist from Canada. I just got back from a trip to Kenya where I visited a home for orphaned and abandoned children living with HIV/AIDS. The future of this home, called Nyumbani, and the future of countless children across Africa hangs in the balance because it's one of the organizations funded by U.S. foreign aid. The Trump administration has frozen all foreign aid and disbanded organizations like USAID, vital to keeping places like Nyumbani running. I wrote a piece about what I witnessed in Kenya, what's at stake now that access to the drugs that keeps these kids alive is in limbo, and real-life consequences these actions are already having on millions of children around the world.
The vaccines are made in Europe. The decisions are made in Geneva. The trials are done in Africa. But the profit, that's exported. Even good intentions can trap you. Even aid can be a leash. Africa must break free from medical dependence. We must build, not beg. We must produce, not plead. We must lead, not follow. Let's revive traditional medicine. Let's fund our own research. Let's empower the Africa CDC, and let us never again leave our future in someone else's hands.
Because by introducing the superiority of our own technologies, be it birth control as a science, be it, COVID was the best thing that could have happened to Africa. Because out of COVID, Africans knew where their herbs were. Even the pastors, the other day I found a whole pastor carrying a whole 5 liter of indigenous medicines. At the end of it, we're going to die. He's checking this thing and he's drinking. All of a sudden, crisis presented to us an opportunity of tracing back. So we cannot only trace back in terms of COVID giving us medicines back. Our fashion is right at the back there.
Senegal is now producing vaccines. South Africa manufactures its own drugs. Nigeria is investing in local pharma. These are not dreams. These are facts. We are not helpless. Our ancestors healed without colonizers. Our scientists are rising today. We have what it takes if we believe in our own. The next colonization won't come with chains. It will come with donations, with medicine, with kindness. But kindness that keeps us dependent is not compassion. It is quiet control.
So why is the West pushing social issues so hard on the African continent? You've probably seen stories like this where the aid that is being offered to Africa often comes with stipulations that they have to enact social reforms that are pretty unpopular. Well, there's a reason for this that I learned in politics, where I spent the better part of a decade being elected, and I want to share those with you. So one of the things that I learned in politics is that the general public has a limit for how much outrage that they have. So if they spend all of their time being angry on social issues, they don't have any time to be upset over economic issues. So if we have an aid package come in that comes with a whole bunch of stipulations that the people find really, really unpopular, they're not going to notice when the terms of that loan really work against their economy, or it's all siphoned out back to the West, leaving them with a whole bunch of debt. Again, it's a typical trick that we do in Western politics to our own people. Create social issues that people get really riled up and angry on, because as long as they're angry about social issues, they're not angry about the financial issues. What we want from Africa isn't social reform. We genuinely, I'll tell you, we don't care about those issues that we say we care about. What we really want is the resources and the money, and to kind of keep them down. So again, if you see us pushing a whole bunch of weird agendas on you and you're like, why the heck are they doing that so hard? Well, now you got the reason. You'll be fighting over these social issues and you're not going to see that we're taking money out of the back of your pocket. Hopefully that's of value to you. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next video.
This program is a critical exploration of global health dynamics and African sovereignty. It does not deny the value of vaccines or life-saving health interventions. It calls instead for African ownership, leadership, and dignity in our health future. See Africa TV supports responsible health practices that respect both science and sovereignty.